last Tuesday, we were somewhere around here. So this is last Tuesday. So I talked about the shortening of the trust to the downside. So that's kind of materialized. And finally, I think last week, my green box is somewhere around here. So I adjusted the green box. So it's somewhere around 39.20 and all the way to about 4,000. So that's a green box. Anyway, let's just focus on the price action. So I think we caught this low quite nice. And what I mentioned last week is to wait for a confirmation. And where exactly is the confirmation bar? On Thursday. So Thursday is by far the best bar that we have ever seen out within this downtrend. So this is like a change of character bar. And most importantly, they're sort of touching the access level, 39.20. And also if you want to look at this supply line, it just backtests the supply line. So this is the supply line of the down channel. So once it's broken out, resistance become support. So there are multiple levels here. So first is the horizontal level. Second is the supply line. And this is a confluence zone. And it just bounce right there. So change your character and then follow through to the upside on Friday. And yesterday, there is rejection tail. So suggest profit taking activity. So in terms of the volume, and we see that it's sort of like decreased a little bit. But in terms of the previous reaction volume, it's quite consistent. So it's on a high side. So I would say the reaction comes with high supply level, and there is some form of the absorption of the supply as shown in the shortening of the trust to the downside, and also exhaustion of the down momentum. So there is definitely some absorption going on right here while the trust is shortening, and then followed by change of character, confirmation, profit taking. So, and this profit taking bar just happened at the right place. So this is the breakdown bar. So the breakdown of the previous support level, and it just acted as a supply zone or the resistance level. So it's quite a natural place for profit taking activity to show up. This could be an overdue test because once we have this bounce up of the support level, I really want to see a successful test in order for the swing to just continue the upswing. So what I mean is I really like to see a test showed up right here because when we see there's action, I want to see a test. Ideally, I want to see decreasing of the supply, and I shrink the green box to somewhere around 4,000 to 4020. So this is the area that I'm hoping S&P 500 could just come to have a test. So basically, it's a test of this confirmation bar. So I want to see a test of this bar and also a test of this area, 4,000 to 4020. So if we could have a test and then just bounce up from here, and likely, I think we should see further upside to challenge access level 41 and then followed by 4,200. So 4,200 is like the second target. And then from there on, we need to judge whether they will have a very significant or meaningful reaction, pullback, or whether it's just a very shallow type. So that will just help us to determine the next round of the bias. So far, in terms of the very immediate term, since yesterday there's a rejection tail, as long as, okay, let me just zoom in here. So as long as we get a break below the low of yesterday bar, likely that should be the test that I'm hoping for. So to go into to test 4,000 to 4020. So if we could just sort of test this area and then bounce back up, then likely we could see the first level 4,100 followed by 4,200. So this swing is still up, but immediate term, I want to see a test. So that should be a shadow type of a test. So in case something happens, something bad really happened, like probably Paul just talked out the market, and most likely, I think could just emphasize what he has been talking about based on the strong economy. They need to just keep raising the rates. So I think that should be quite consistent. So if the market still react well, means that if it could still hold up again and then eventually just bounce back up, then we should see further up move to test 41 to 42. So in terms of the swing direction, we are still up. So the upswing is on. So now I want to see a test and then a resume of an upswing. First resistance level, 41. Second resistance level, 42. And in terms of the larger picture, so let's revisit the larger picture, because I think we haven't talked about the big picture for a few weeks. So in terms of the long term, this is the trading range. So this is still a range bound market, and we got something like a selling climax, ornamental rally, secondary test, and this is still unfolding the trading range. But in terms of the reaction, we didn't really see this kind of the impulsive movement. So instead, what we have here is this sort of the reaction and this reaction. So can you just differentiate how different is the reaction compared to these two? So this two reaction is very impulsive, and it comes with a lot of the supply as well. So ton of the supply. And in terms of this two reaction, supply has been decreasing. But of course, localized area, there is an increasing of the supply. That's why I'm hoping to see a successful test here with decreasing of the supply so that it can resume its uptrend to challenge 4,200. So if we can get that like this, 41 and then 42, and then consolidate there with shallow pullback, then that should be the moment that everyone is waiting for, a breakout of the big trading range. If that happens, I think the mainstream media or the news headline will just flip it to like the bull runs begin. So because that's pretty obvious, this is a consolidation and that's building up a base. And if it breaks out from here, then next level is the resistance at about 4,600. Okay, so we got questions from James. The question is late because I was having issue with my computer, but here's my question. Okay, you would like to see S&P drop to 4020 level of support. If index drops below 4020, what support level you would like to see? Okay, so for S&P 500, the immediate support level is 4,000 to 4020. So if it could drop to this area and bounce back, this is definitely the best case. It's a bullish pullback. However, if it breaks below this level with even increasing of the volume, bearish bar break below because Powell said something nasty, and then next level is this whole candle, so 3980, and likely I don't think it will hold, so definitely we'll come back to have a test of the low here. This is still an effective low, like 3920. So which is the access level here? So first level is 4,000 to 4020. Okay, if it breaks below, likely is going back to test 3920. So here, we still need to see whether there will be a lot more volatility and even increasing of the supply. So if that's the case, then it will take more time to form a range or even breakdown. So let's just wait for it to happen, whether they will have a test, first test of the level 4,000 to 4020. If you want to catch my latest videos, click on the subscribe button and the bell right now so that you get instant notification once I upload my latest video. If you want to check out my online courses, go to tradeprecise.com to find out how to profit consistently from any market without using complex indicator or understanding any financial statement, no matter you are trading or investing.